Hey everyone, welcome to Old World Legends. I'm your host Mike, and with me as always is Evan.
Ka-chow.
That's what we're going to get today. Well, today's really exciting, Evan. We get to talk about something that we only get to do with our community once, maybe twice a year. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't, Mike. Tell me.
Oh my goodness. We are going to be running in just a few weeks here our first 2-day event of the year, our Old World Legends Open, if you will, down here in Orange County. Really excited about it. We got to do this last year, 2 times last year, one around summertime, one around the fall time. And we're very fortunate this year to be able to kick things off. Very exciting 2025 with our first big event in March, starting March 1st and March 2nd. So looking forward to that. Do you already know what you're going to be fielding for that event yet, Evan?
I actually don't because I'm going to the February RTT and I'm bringing the ogres, who I'm desperately
Okay.
trying to finish. But honestly, yeah, it kind of depends on how that RTT goes, whether it's going to be the ogres or something else.
Awesome. But we'll see what happens. You do have a lot of lists. So, yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. So, I think first and foremost, right, for people out there who don't know, right, we are not only Evan and myself as part of the community making content to share, and ultimately our goal is to grow the old world community, not just
Mm-hmm.
locally but globally. That's what we're trying to accomplish. We love this game so much. We want more and more people playing it and more friends to be enjoying this game with us. But we also, besides creating content and running the community in this Discord, we're also very focused on events. And the reason why we're using the word events and not tournaments, yes, it is labeled a GT Grand Tournament because that's a label the tabletop or Games Workshop community is used to. But we like calling them events because it's not just about winning. It's about hanging out with your friends. It's about having a great weekend. And it's
Yeah.
about having more than just prizes for the people who win all their games. We have, make sure we have prizes for just people who paint and exceptionally well on the hobby side,
Mm-hmm.
really emphasizing participation. We have a cool bingo we can show everybody about, an old world bingo, which has been a blast. We do trivia. For those of you who remember back in the day, events used to host trivia. We love doing old world trivia. That's a lot of fun. And of course, we have our giveaways and such. So it really is just a really fun weekend that we do, and we're really excited to host the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. So why don't we
So
show
why
the
don't we?
trophies?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's a starting point. Oh, ooh, look at those, hot off the press, if you will. So, for those of you who haven't been to one of our events last year, hopefully you get to come to one of our events this year. I'd love it if you could show up to the one in March. We put a lot of effort into our trophies, as you can see. That's a big thing for us. Is we certainly have our second and third place trophies, which are really great to get, and definitely something to show off to your friends, and something that you could use around the house too, which is awesome. But we custom make all of our first place trophies, and as you can see here, this time we're going with a sea captain. For our best general, first
Mm-hmm.
place general, and a bloodletter or a golden demon, if you
Mm-hmm.
will, for best painted. Not too shabby. Evan, you think you can take one of these home?
No, but I would love to. I feel like the elf is a little ominous because of how often our resident high elf player has been winning our tournaments.
He has won many tournaments, but he has not taken home one of the 2-day event trophies yet. This might be his time.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
see.
could be.
We'll definitely see. Very exciting. So yeah, definitely love to showcase some of our trophies. We put a lot of effort into those, but not just that. It's also but again, it's really there are people definitely competing, right? And that's a big thing about the hobby and the motivation. Some people are focused on hey, doing really well in their battles. Some people are really focused well on painting, and we make sure the prize support in addition to the trophies is the same. Whether you win in painting or whether you win your battles, we offer the same prize support in terms of models, Old World, and some other great products that people can pick up for winning these in addition to the trophy. But it's also just a really awesome weekend to just hang out with a whole bunch of friends rolling dice. It's just super fun. And you
Mm-hmm.
get to see some other beautiful armies. And one of the best part is we get to showcase a lot of our terrain. And we always make sure that at our events we have at least one new terrain reveal. We're not going to reveal the new terrain set today, but Evan, do we have some pictures of the venue we could walk people through?
Yeah, so I think some of these photos are from the event last time around. I think it was in fall of last year. I was playing Dark Elves. Um, it was an interesting series of games. It was definitely a challenging time for the old Dark Elves. In my final game, I was playing against that player who shall not be named, the high elf player, and my dark elf dreadlord was dueling against his prince. And we both had similar builds. We both had the Dragon Slayer sword, and I got the monster slaying hit first, and then he used his opal amulet to survive, and then he got his monster slaying hit
Mm,
on me. And dark elves don't have that, so I
no,
was just dead. So
no, they don't.
it was
But yeah, we can
amazing.
flip through these. So,
Yeah,
like I said, right, right, we're still a growing community.
yeah.
We're still expanding, and as you can see, we have a variety of players. Right, some players who are showing up to these events. This is their first 2 day event they've ever been to. We have some players who have been going to 2 day events for many years. Right, and some people have a fully fleshed out, beautiful painted army, which just looks incredible on the tabletop, especially next to some of our really premium old world legends terrain, our owl terrain sets. And you have some players who haven't quite finished painting their model yet, their army yet, and they're just getting to it. You know what? That's totally okay. No problem whatsoever. We definitely want to encourage everybody, if you haven't been to one of our events, to just show up. I promise you, you're going to have a great time. And don't worry about whether your army's perfect, whether it's fully painted or not painted. Right now, we're just trying to get awesome people to play more games of Old World with other awesome people. And that's really all we want to do.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah,
So you can
and
see
you
I'm
can
just
see
going
this
through.
wonderful
Yeah.
terrain you did there, Mike. And I like to think this is probably some of the best terrain in the world because you definitely spend your every waking second making it and upgrading it. Last couple months, you've just been upgrading the existing sets because you already have
Yep.
how many is it? Like 12 different faction specific terrain sets.
We're working on. I think I'm working on set 14 right now, but I
Ah,
think I've only showed 12 yet. And yeah, as you saw, we had this is one of the dwarven set here. I think the last slide you were showing off the wood elf set. And then before that, there was the lizardmen table, which the lustria table. Really love that jungle set. And you can see not only is every table themed and unique to the table. Here's a vampire count set. It's not set up yet, but you can see some of the terrain shots there.
mm-hmm,
But they're also different as well. So not only is the terrain thematically different on every single table, it's going to be different combination. Now, most of the tables are still too large, 4 medium, 2 smalls. But hey, you also see here, there's some low linear obstacles, right? So we're starting to incorporate more elements of low linear obstacles. We actually have a river or two on some tables coming up. We have some of our first road on a Chaos Dwarf table we showed off not too long ago at the last RTD. So excited to showcase new terrain and expand what you're going to play. And what was your experience, right? Because you've played in the event, going from playing these 5 games
mm-hmm.
on 5 different terrain layouts, 5 different sets.
Well, I remember that in I think the last game I was playing on a table with a bunch of lava pits, and you had some rule where dangerous terrain was going to be failed on a 1 or a 2 in that battle.
Yeah.
And
And
yeah,
did you stay out of the terrain?
I
Did you
think
pay
we
attention to the rules?
no that dragon fight I was mentioning earlier happened on the pile of lava. So every time someone gave ground, there was a chance we could just each fall into the lava and lose a wound on our dragon. That was crazy.
Brutal. Yeah, but that's also another thing too, right? I was talking about is not only at the events do we have really fun great prizes and trophies and unique tables, but also there's a different scenario for each round of the event as well. So again, we don't want to change the rules too much, but the balance we're always going for at our events is we want to change the rules just enough so it feels impactful, so that this round, the scenario feels different than the previous round and the round after. And basically, we're testing all of these scenarios at the RTTs, at the monthly RTTs, so we can get feedback. We always do surveys and feedback and learn this is working well, this is too powerful, and balance those. So by the time we get to our 2 day events, you're already playing scenarios that have been battle tested at least one, if not two, separate events, and already collected feedback on how we can make it better. And we're always expanding. Oh, there you go. There's the river right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely very polarizing. Some people are thrilled to play on the river table. Other people are dread it. It just depends what army you're bringing to the battlefield that day.
I had a very one sided battle with my dark elves versus a troll horde on this river map where I was able to just avoid and screen and use the river to slow them down because guess what? River trolls are not aquatic. So
No,
this just screwed up their whole day. And it was fun.
but at the same time, I know I saw that troll player play on the river table later in the event, and I think it was versus an Empire gun line, and he made it across the river and he ran those Empire down. So
I think that
sometimes it's going to work.
that's the game we're watching right here. This is definitely the army
Yeah.
that I
Oh,
destroyed with dark
yes.
elves.
You
So
know what? I think this was. You're right. Because I remember it, and you're like, I thought like, there's no way he's going to get across, Well, spoiler: the trolls made it. They
Yeah,
made enough of those regen saves that those poor Empire soldiers got it beating afterwards. But anyway, so yeah, we talked about the terrain. We've talked about the event. Again, this is a great venue. It's at one of our LGSs, right? Local gaming stores in the Orange County area. At Squad Marks. We've been there before. Excited to go there again. A great owner there as well with Mason. But what else do we have? So we also talked about bingo. Do we have any pictures of that? Well, there's
yeah,
some of the bingo prizes.
yeah.
So here's the bingo. Now there will be a new bingo. We do this a different bingo at each event, and this is something fun that we do for our Old World bingo. So again, the goal with Old World Legends events or OWL events is that everybody's going to be a winner. You're going to show up no matter what. You're going to get some. You're going to go home not just with some new friends, some great games, some good stories, but also some prizes as well, right? Everybody's there to win something. So we always have a giveaway just for showing up, and then we also make sure we have a bingo card that you get to play throughout your 5 games. And I think we have like a 90% success rate. If you play all your 5 games, basically, you are going to get a bingo. That is the intention. It's very hard to get it on game one or game two, almost impossible. You can. But if you can get through 5 games, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a bingo. And that's the point. We want you to get a bingo. We want to motivate you to show up the second day and to play with your friends and have a great time. So these are just really fun things that you could tick off with your opponent from round to round from, hey, you miscast twice this round, or hey, you failed a charge. It's just really, really fun things. And it's so they're not just, I'm getting bingo for playing. These are story moments that you're going to be able to tell the other person, or when you hand in the card to me to get your prize, this crazy thing happened and I got to check off this bingo. What round do you recall that you got your bingo in, Evan?
I think it was somewhere around the fourth or fifth round. What I
Yeah.
remember the most was that I he gave out those little frogs because there was a mission where
About the
there was a
frog.
mission where like if you miscast, there was a really good chance you turned into a frog. And I was playing Dark Elf, so I used that frog as my model for the Focus Familiar whenever I was casting
That's
my
right.
overpowered spells.
Yeah, it's an awesome model. Fantastic. So yeah, bingo's a lot of fun. You just saw on the other slide the some of the vortexes. So when you get a bingo right, we have a whole bunch of different prizes, some movement trays, some vortexes that people can come up and pick up your prizes. So right, you know the thing that makes a vortex better is having a badass model to represent your vortex. So a lot of fun with that. And then we don't have a picture for it here, but we also, as I mentioned before, do trivia, which is really fun. So some people love reading the lore in the books. Some people probably have never cracked or read some of that narrative fluff section, but you're going to walk away and remember some things, such as, did you know that orcs are from space and they're not actually from the planet? So definitely a lot of fun trivia there, and you're going to have a blast playing it. So we do that specifically between round 2 and 3 because it only takes 10 minutes. It's really fun, and we give out prizes for the people who win there too, because we know after the third round that people typically want to go out to dinner with the group, or get back to their room and get ready for the next day.
Absolutely.
Cool. So I think that anything else, Evan, for the event you want to talk about? Otherwise, I am pumped. I can't wait to show off some new terrain. Can't wait to give out these trophies and prizes to people showing up. And again, to sign up, if you don't know where, you just go to our website,
Yeah.
oldworldlegends.org. Can't miss it. And just sign up right there, and hopefully we'll see a bunch more people very soon here.
Yeah, I think I would just mention that it actually tends to be that we have some more casual players come to the GT type events where
Yeah.
it's only a couple times a year and they'll bring their very well painted army and they're just there to be with other people to show off their work and to maybe win the best painted trophy and that this is an interesting affect of maybe just that extra commitment of the more grand 2 day event this kind of destination gameplay, right? Whereas I think some of the more competitive play happens at the RTT round. So it's not to think that a 2 day event means it's going to be really competitive, only the top players. It's actually more the opposite.
Yeah, very much so. And the thing to keep in mind, in particular at our events, is we are. I am not playing the games. I'm specifically just there, and if I need to, if we have enough people show up, get other judges to help with me. I'm there for 2 reasons. One, to answer any question anybody has, and
Mm-hmm.
it's totally okay. Trust me, people ask me questions nonstop throughout the day. And two, to make sure everybody has a great time. That's
Yeah.
it. That's literally my only purpose, to make sure everybody has a great time. And we've had plenty of players who've shown up who've only played a handful of games, and you know what? They walked around. it is so much fun where they're like, wow, this terrain is so immersive, or look at these gorgeous armies, or here's all these cool people that I get to connect with,
Yeah.
and they just have a great time, and they get to go home with something, no matter whether they win all their games or win nothing, they're getting to go home with something as well. And it's just a really fun weekend, and it's a great way to even just get out there and just learn, right? And again, my purpose running the event is not to just put it on, but to help people. And I spend probably half of my time literally just helping people with some basic rules. And you know what? It's totally worth it. It's totally worth it
See,
to have them
Mike,
to
you
come
say
out. And
that, but
I'm
I
going to do it
played
again.
against you twice now as the ringer at tournaments, and
That's
both
true.
times you brought your horrifying Warriors of Chaos, okay, and just smacked me
Well,
around. So I don't
first of
know.
all, the first one, you weren't prepared to fight that list, and I asked you what you wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
And the second time, though, I specifically said I have a soft list, and then
Mm-hmm.
I have a really hard list. Which one? The spicy list. Which one do you want to play? And you
Yeah.
said full spice. You said bring it on. I was like, are you sure? And you're like, yes. I think you maybe regretted that decision.
I think that it's more that the gigantic chaos spawn of Corn having killing blow on its impact hits is
Yeah,
very egregious. Okay, I need some low linear obstacles in this on that map.
definitely.
That would help.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's close this one out. And again, we're super pumped for this event. We only get to do it a couple times a year. So hopefully we get to see you out there. And if you can't make it to this one, don't worry. We'll do at least one more this year and we'll talk about some future events real soon.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Ciao.